morning, good morning, good morning once again. How are you doing this morning? Those of you just joining. Usually start with the word of the day. All right, this segment, of course, just reminding you that at 6:45 we've got the AM edition of news, sports, and the weather, and we look forward to that. The word for the day is decorous. Decorous. And decorous means marked by propriety and good taste. And that's correct. A person or thing that is decorous conforms to an approved or conventional standard. Now let's look at how decorous can be used in a sentence. Before making her daily announcements, the principal mentioned how proud she was of the students' decorous conduct at the That's decorous. decorous. Good. Nice. Let's see what the thought for today, all right? Now, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. Now, the power of love is a universal gift to mankind, capable of uniting all people together, sharing, caring, and helping each other. Now, the thirst for power can bring great wealth, power, and position in society. Unfortunately, one may lose all sense of rational and violate ethics to fulfill their selfish motives. Yeah, some folks just love being powerful, yeah? And here it comes, the riddle for today. I wonder if anyone will find this one today. This one was really, really searched for. Listen this carefully and remember the number that you can call to give you an answer. It's 435. It will, for those of you on the TV, it will show up on the screen momentarily while it's there. 435-2041. Listen carefully. A boy and an engineer were fishing. The boy is the son of the engineer, but the engineer is not the father of the boy. Then who is the engineer? I'm going to ask you again. A boy and an engineer were fishing. The boy is the son of the engineer, but the engineer is not the father of the boy. Then who is the engineer? You like this one? 435-2041. Start your day on a quizzical mind. Yeah, let me hear you. 435-2041. All right, so remember that. A boy and an engineer were fishing. The boy is the son of the engineer, but the engineer is not the father of the son. 435-2041. Let's go to the phone line. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm great, man.
And where are you calling me from?
Mount Morris.
How's Mount Morris this morning?
It's kind of overcast.
Overcast?
Yeah.
Wow. I stepped outside a while ago and I found outside looking bright, boy, but maybe the sun ain't reached your side yet. Yeah. So you think you have the answer for me?
Yeah, his mom.
His mom? What make you figure that out?
Well, he's fishing with the engineer, but the engineer is not his father, but he's the engineer's son. So it must be his mom.
Well, that was so easy, boy. All right. So what are your plans for today?
Well,
getting ready to go to work?
Enjoy the day. Well, I work for myself.
Self-employed?
Yeah.
Right. You employ any other persons?
Yeah. Family business.
What business you into? Food?
Yeah.
All right. You slim or you fat?
He's a big guy.
He's a big guy?
Yeah. This is Juice Man.
Hey, what's up, Papi?
How you doing?
Everything's good.
Yeah, man.
Nice to hear your voice. Good selections for this carnival season, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and you had an excellent performance as well.
Yes, man. Yes.
Yeah. As Randy Isaac said in song, there is always next year. So next year you're going to come better, right?
Yes, man. It's our vibes.
Yeah. Stay blessed, man. Have yourself a wonderful day and nice hearing from you.
Yeah, man. You too.
Good. Blessings,
all
blessings,
right.
blessings. Juice Man, good morning, my bro. How you doing? Yeah. So yeah, he is correct, right? A boy and an engineer were fishing. The boy is the son of the engineer, but the engineer is not the father of the boy. Then who is the engineer? Well, of course, the answer is his mom. Yeah, his mom. All right, just a few things that we will be looking at on the buzz this morning. All right, that's on the flip side after the news, just after 7, after the weather. Okay, we're going to look at the supplementary appropriations bill, which gives financing for a number of key government projects, as well as ensures funding for retroactive pension payments that was tabled in the Senate on Tuesday. We're going to take a look at that. We want to hear your opinion on that. Also, we see that opposition senators concerned, all right, the opposition senators Neilon Franklin and Katisha Douglas, they brought forth some interesting contributions to the debate as the 2022 Supplementary Appropriations Act was passed on Tuesday. All right, something I want to touch on this morning too. There are so many young people in politics. Yeah, we want to hear what's your take on that. Also, making the buzz. You hear that former. Right, no, we touched that one already. Yesterday we had an incident where students were sent home from the St. Andrew Anglican Primary School. They had to return home as they were affected by the heavy rains, which caused severe flooding on the school compound. Yeah, some emphasis has to be placed on that. And also we hear that a distressed businessman is complaining that he's had multiple break-ins in his establishment in less than 2 weeks. All right. He is asking that a proper facility be established for substance abuse persons so that they will not continue to become a nuisance to society and businesses. Yeah, that is something coming up to her. All right, also the Grenada, president of Grenada Bar Association, that's the Derek Sylvester, he reiterates the calls for a stable home for the court system and proper security. I guess that's a fallback from where this transcript was misplaced, and security of the court facility. I think that is very, very important. And do you remember a couple of years ago when this gentleman Evan Smith was attacked in Fort Judy? Well, 2 years later, he is, his health is deteriorating rapidly. So these are some of the stories making the buzz this morning. So get your thoughts in line so that we can have a conversation, just a little chit chat on some of these topical issues when we return. This is where we break for this segment. We come back with the news, the AM edition, those of you on the radio and on television and the social media platforms. We have a rebroadcast of last evening's GBN news. So see you on the flip side of the news.
Solar lights are back in stock and will be available for purchase at Southern Electrical. Here is a list of the solar lights that we offer. 200 to 300 watt intelligent floodlights with camera, 300 to 500 watt solar street lights, 60, 100, 200 and 500 RGB solar floodlights, 100, 200, 300, 500 and 800 solar floodlights, solar garden lights, 25, 40, 60, 100 and 200 watt solar floodlights, 3, 7 and 10 watt solar wall lights, motion sensor garden lights, motion sensor floodlights, 30, 60 and 90 watt solar street lights with accessories, 5 watt solar wall lamps, 40 and 60 solar street lights, and 100 and 300 solar floodlights with battery power display. Now available at Southern Electrical, Dusty Highway, St. George. Visit our showroom today.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
St. Andrew businessman says multiple break-ins at his establishment less than 2 weeks apart are causing him significant distress. He's asking that a proper facility be established for substance abuse persons so that they won't continue to become a nuisance to society and businesses. Rena Pierre-Thomas has this report.
Cyril George says the small restaurant and bar he's presently operating has been broken into more than 5 times in less than 2 weeks. The culprit, who is a well-known drug addict, was caught on camera committing this act and was only arrested by the Grenville police on Tuesday.
The loss is over $2,000 because all the drinks, boxes of Rica juice, beers, everything. He emptied the cupboards, he emptied the fridge. I don't know how he made it, if it's several trips or what. Well, we saw him making several trips, as a matter of fact. And we lost about $3,000 total. They say they will have him evaluated, and then they will know what to do with him, whether to send him to the mental home or to put him in prison or what. But I think he knows what he's doing.
George says the financial hit by these robberies has left the shop and owner's pocket empty, making it almost impossible to recover as the individual who did the crime cannot reimburse them.
Well, we are suffering by that. But when he's in prison or in mental home, we feel better and we feel safer. Very much, very badly. Because for the past 2 weeks, we lost about over $3,000. As far as we know. It's hard, I think it's hard to get it back. Because my nephew was saying if he had something, they would deal with him. But I don't think he has anything. So we just have to try and keep our minds together and see what we can do.
This issue has not only affected him, but other businesses and homeowners in the town of Grenville who have been victims. He said the accused man was only released from prison just a few weeks ago for the same act and fears that the cycle will continue to repeat itself. He is calling on the relevant authority to develop a proper facility for substance abuse people who are distressing business owners and society.
Since he is out, because he made some prison for this place already, and since he came back, it's happening fairly regular, almost every week. If he's not in the shop here, he's in my van. Several times I had to chase him from my van, taking things in the van, and probably other people things too, you know. People like him, there are about 3 or 4 people like him. He's the worst though. They should really get a place and keep them there. I don't know if it's for training or teaching or something. Not even, you know, put them in a place and try to see if they can change them a little.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pierre-Thomas reporting.
The Supplementary Appropriations Bill, which gives financing for a number of key government projects, as well as ensures funding for retroactive pension payments, was tabled in Senate on Tuesday. Gerard Joseph has the details.
Having examined the state of affairs for Grenada, a Supplementary Appropriations Act was passed in Senate on Tuesday to address some of the immediate issues facing the country. A leader of government business in the Senate, Senator Adrian Thomas, noted that the National Democratic Congress has finally been able to address the issue of public sector pension, which has been a focus for the party since 2013.
Madam President, the day is finally here. And we make no bones about that. The people, the workers in Grenada, Carrico and Pitimatnik, who have worked for 20, 30, 40 years in the service and left the service quietly, having to resort to poverty. We are here today to seek the approval for this bill so that these people will have a different life and a change in terms of changing their lifestyle in terms of going forward.
Infrastructure projects such as the Molyneux land slippage and financing for the new Ministry of Mobilization are being covered by the supplementary appropriation. The former administration had come under heavy fire during the recent sitting of the House of Representatives on the slow progress of the Molyneux project. However, opposition senator and former infrastructure minister Nolan Cox stated that significant work was done to get the project to this point.
We have worked speedily as much as possible as we can. So our call is not a call to in any way talk about what we have done, but our call is a call to speed up, to ease the burden that road users have to contend with on a daily basis.
Senator Cox appealed for urgency, noting a major issue facing citizens living in St. Patrick and St. Mark.
After a certain time in the day, when the bus goes up, they don't come back. So you have workers who are finishing late in some of the business places. In some cases, they are stranded.
Senator Jonathan Lacrette, rising in support of the supplementary appropriation bill, cited the need to finance and boost human resource capacity to ensure the health sector is robust moving forward.
Madam President, if any one of us fall down here right now, God forbid, and have to be rushed to the general hospital, based on your condition, I am not quite sure whether or not, if it's a heart condition or some other condition, we will be able to maybe stabilize you. But at some point, we may have to fly you out because some essential specialist services are critically missing from our health sector.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Opposition Senators Nealon Franklin and Katisha Douglas also brought forth some interesting contributions to the debate as the 2022 Supplementary Appropriations Act was passed on Tuesday. Hear more in this Gerard Joseph report.
Noting the savings of $32.9 million from the initial 2022 budget, Senator Nealon Franklin questioned the rationale for the $117 million for capital expenditure under the Supplementary Appropriations Act 2022.
Is it necessary, given the $32.9 million savings? Additionally, Madam President, there is a request for $77 million for the current expenditure side. The media review document also indicates that there's an estimated saving on 4 line items there.
Senator Franklin also citing an estimated $28 million in savings on the current expenditure side, probed as to whether it was necessary to request $77 million given the significant savings projected. He likewise pointed to what appeared to be a continuation of contract work against the backdrop of NDC's election campaign promises.
An interesting observation of the request, the supplementary, the new ministry, the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, MIT. It has a nice abbreviation. There was a promise of removing contract work and whatnot, but we see an opportunity here for contract work to be removed or eliminated as promised, and there is a significant allocation under that ministry, a request rather, for contract work. So I would like some clarity on that.
Government Senator Claudette Joseph, responding to concerns about continued contract work under the NDC, noted that they met arrangements already set by the former administration.
And the terms had been agreed, but the contracts had not yet been signed. And in most instances, we must act with decency and acknowledge government as a continuum. And if we have no good reason for not proceeding to sign a contract that our predecessor entered into, we signed the contract.
Joseph, who is also Minister for Labour, further explained that government is treading cautiously as it is reasonable to regularize contract workers by doing so first with those already in the system.
New people coming into the service, whether it's the MIT or any other ministry, by and large, they enter on contract. because we cannot go regularizing some and not the other. We cannot, for example, in fairness, bring new people into the service as established, and then you have contract workers already in the service, 10, 15, some 20 years on contract, and we're telling them, wait till we regularize, while we hire new people straight in because we say we're going to regularize.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
President of the Grenada Bar Association reiterates the calls for a stable home for the court system and proper security. More in this Christina John report.
President of the Grenada Bar Association, Derek Sylvester, is pleading for tolerance from the general public. This as they continue to advocate for a permanent home for the courts and registry. Following her assumption of office following the June 23rd general election, Attorney General and Minister for Legal Affairs Claudette Joseph promised to treat this request with some form of urgency. She noted that she will follow up on the progress already made by the previous administration in accomplishing that goal.
I'm saying what we need as a matter of urgency is a cause of justice. Because you should not be in a position whereby you have the High Court sitting in River Road today, the stadium, then tomorrow on Yonge Street, and then the following day somewhere on Church Street. You need to have all those facilities housed in one building, so that needs some priority. Or as we continue to have problems that we're having with the administration of justice.
Sylvester is not only reiterating his call for a house of justice, but proper security as well.
So we need a court system whereby we have sufficient security, so persons going in and out of court, you know whether or not they have no weapons, no devices. So you have to we need a proper system of security. We don't wait until something happens seriously in court and then you act on it. My view now is that we need not only a proper court system, but we also need security. Better security for judges, magistrates, and even complainants.
He impresses that with the continuous shifting of material and equipment, it is likely this can lead to information becoming compromised. Just under 1 month ago, Alexander Clark, who was given a prison sentence of 67.5 years, walked out of prison a free man as a result of a missing transcript no one is able to give account for.
Even before my time, before my presidency, my predecessors would have championed the cause to have a cause of justice, because the judiciary is a co-equal arm of state. You can't have 3 arms of state and one is not properly housed. And those things could lead to all different issues. If the registry is moving from bow to stern, east, west, north, and south, you would have certain issues in relation to administration. You may have lost stuff that are lost. You may have things that would happen, because I recall in the last couple of years, the registry probably was in 3 to 4 different locations.
Sylvester notes that staff at the registry works tirelessly under extremely difficult circumstances and so begs for understanding. Christina John, GBN News.
You've asked for it, and now it's here. The NLA announces its new mid-morning draw, commencing September 30th at 9:45 a.m. Yes, you heard right. Draws for Pick 3, Cash 4, and Playway will now be conducted 3 times daily at 9:45 a.m., 12:45 p.m., and 7:45 p.m., Monday to Friday. The Saturday draws remains twice daily. And that's not all. Simply place your non-winning Cash 4, Pick 3, and Playway tickets valued at least $10 from a single purchase in the NLA branded box at your favorite sales location. 4 chances to win 10 prizes of $1,000 each. Whoa! $10,000 is up for winnings. Compliments the NLA. Be sure to write your name, address, and contact info on your entries before submitting. Promotion runs from September 30th to October 28th and would be drawn on Friday, November 4th, 2022. NLA, making your dreams a reality while supporting sports, culture, and nation building. Must be 18 or older to participate. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
The St. John's River Flood Mitigation Project will solve the flooding problem. Minister for Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation is confident it will. We get more in this report from Christina John.
Minister for Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, Andy Williams, is given the assurance that once the St. John's River Flood Mitigation Project is complete, this will be the end of flooding in the River Road area. The minister and his team visited the site earlier Wednesday following heavy downpours overnight that led to the river bursting its banks in some parts and flooding homes. Phases 3 and 4 of the project are already completed and showing signs that they have, to an extent, achieved their purpose.
The team from the MIT came to look at the project today because we saw the overflowing of water into the road, right? And it is understandable because we have about 3 more packages to go out, which will complete the road. So for now, where the water is coming from, those areas have to be tendered. As a matter of fact, the tender is out already. So once the construction is done at that segment of the road, the flooding will stop. So we are very confident that this project here will stop the flooding in the road because where it has already been completed, we have seen improvement and there's no water going into the road also.
With work presently ongoing on 2 other phases, the recent flooding will create some setbacks. However, Junior Latouche, Quality Control and Safety Manager at Creative Designs, says there is no need to be fearful.
Citizens of Grenada shouldn't be worried about the wall because the Western, the engineer, did a good job in designing the height of the wall. The height of the wall is, it's going to take the volume of the water. It's acceptable. Creative Design is doing a good job as well. We understand the river. We understand the scope of works. I don't see no reason why the citizens of Grenada should worry. So you can see from what you see now that the water is flowing nice and smooth. And once the project is finished, everything would come back to normal.
During Tuesday's sitting of the Upper House, private sector representative Senator Salim Rahman questioned the government's allocation towards the St. John's River Flood Mitigation Project. Would it be enough?
Particular question is with regard to the St. John's Flood Control Project. That 11,500,000, if it would see it to completion, and if that completion would be along the cemetery, because I noticed that at the bottom of the cemetery I have a property that is adjacent, and I noticed that when it floods, the water comes in at the bottom of the cemetery there, and no work has yet commenced on that part. So I'd just like to get some clarification on that.
Business leader in the Senate, Adrian Thomas, told Senator Rahman that he could not confirm if his concerned area was covered under the project. However, Senator Claudette Joseph provided a response.
Yes, Honorable Senator Rahman, work has to be done in the area by the mouth of the river that is affecting private property, including property belonging to your family. So that is something that has to be taken into account. As my learned friend indicated, I believe, but I cannot say with certainty, that the $11.5 million sought here now will cover that. But I know within the scope of works going forward, that issue is under consideration.
Before noon today, students of the St. Andrew Anglican Primary School had to return home as they were affected by the heavy rains which caused severe flooding on the school compound. Rena Pierre-Thomas tells us more.
It's empty classes at the St. Andrew's Anglican Primary School this morning as all of the students had to return home due to flooding at both entrances of the school. GBN was told because of this, students entered the classroom with wet socks, shoes and uniforms. Grenada experienced heavy showers from Tuesday evening to most of Wednesday, which was the cause of the flooding. Though at the time the news team arrived, most of the water at the front entrance had already subsided. Muddy tracks remain visible. At the back entrance, the large pool of water students had to wade through clearly shows why shoes and socks were wet. This grandfather told the GBN that he received a call from a teacher who advised him to come to collect his grandchildren.
The teachers called me and they notified me that the school break up early, so come collect the kids, so just come and collect them because they can walk about too much of water they so. And the rain coming again, so all the parents that have the kids here supposed to come and collect the kids. Well, some don't come as yet because they have children there still, and the weather don't looking so good again because just now it will be plenty rain again. So the best thing is to get the kids home and get them out of the condition of the weather.
The St. Andrew Anglican Primary School was temporarily relocated to Progress Park St. Andrew to facilitate the rebuilding of a new permanent school at its prior location in the heart of Grenville next to the Anglican Church. The school was first damaged in 2004 by Hurricane Ivan and a few years later by fire. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Heart health. Your heart health matters. Raising awareness on heart health is one individual's way of giving back to the community, as we hear in this report from Chrislina John.
Cardiologist specialist Dr. Elida Batista Herrera is partnering with other local organizations to host a seminar on heart health, something she believes can be a life changer for many Grenadians. In an exclusive interview with GBN, she highlighted the fact that a number of young people have and is falling victim to cardiovascular diseases.
In my daily experience seeing my patient, I realize that people need more education about cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular disease are the first cause of death around the world, and here in the Caribbean area is the same. Like in Grenada is the same thing. Like it's the first cause of death around the world, and then it's affecting everybody. And lately it has been affecting more like young person.
The most important behavioral risk factor for heart disease and stroke are unhealthy diets, physical inactivity, tobacco use, and harmful use of alcohol. The effects of behavioral risk factors may show up in individuals as high blood pressure, high blood glucose, raised blood lipids, and overweight and obesity. Batista Herrera explains her way of giving back to the community is by teaching people how to avoid or treat heart disease.
I've been in the medical field for a long time, and then year after year we notice like increase of the principal risk factor about everything, not only the heart, about all the things. The faster in the life, the more stress, bad nutritional habits, more alcohol consumption, more smoke, more fast food. All of that have been increasing the risk to suffer for heart problems.
The cardiologists extend an invitation to the general public to attend this seminar. Here's what they can look forward to.
The seminar will be taking place in Bruce Street Mall here in St. George's. Will be this Friday the 14th at 4 p.m. We're planning to start the 4 p.m. chat. We have some guest speakers that coming to accompany that. We have the Miss Nashida Duncan. She's a nutritionist, a specialist in diet and nutrition, and she coming to talk about how to manage heart health and nutrition. Also, we have Mr. Lester Smith that coming for Just Sports Fitness Center, that he coming to talk about exercise in prevention and treatment and rehabilitation after having any heart issue, like to give more idea about that.
Dr. Batista hopes that at the end of the seminar, people will walk away a bit more informed about their hearts than they came in. Chrislina John, GBN News.
Do more with
with your new GUT Credit Union Visa debit card, which gives you access to your cash at any Connex or Visa certified ATMs locally and internationally. Make your payments with a tap of your card using the contactless feature and have the freedom to make purchases locally, online, or overseas whenever you travel anywhere Visa is accepted. Experience the enhanced security fraud protection through the Visa chip technology. If you don't have your new GUT Credit Union Visa International debit card, speak to any one of our representatives today to do more. Your new GUT Credit Union Visa International debit card, a smarter way to access your cash. More smart, more secure.
Folks, good morning once again and welcome to this segment of Good Morning Grenada. Of course, this is where we look at some of the stories making the buzz last night. I just do a recap. The word of the day, the chorus, all right? And it means marked by propriety or good taste, and that's correct. A person or thing that is the chorus conforms to an approved or conventional standard. The thought for today, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. Good, and we had the riddle for the day. Boy and an engineer were fishing. The boy is the son of the engineer, but the engineer is not the father of the boy. Then who's the engineer? The engineer is the boy's mother. All right. Okay, so what's buzzing this morning? The Supplementary Appropriations Bill, which gives financing for a number of key government projects, as well as ensures funding for retroactive pension payments, was tabled in the Senate on Tuesday. That's making the buzz. Also, we hear the opposition senators Neilon Franklin and Katisha Douglas. They brought forth some interesting contributions to the debate as the 2022 Supplementary Appropriations Act was passed. And then the social buzz, former Attorney General. Okay, we did that story already. Right, St. Andrew's Anglican Primary School students, they were sent home early yesterday because of the inclement weather. There was flooding and so forth. So we do know that the Ministry of Education will look into addressing that problem. Okay, so let's look at right, the president of the Bar Association, the Grenada Bar Association, he reiterates his call for a stable home for the court system and a proper security. I want us to look at that story first, all right? President of the Grenada Bar Association reiterates the calls for a stable home for the court system and a proper security. This is a very topical subject because there is some bitter taste in the mouths of some with a recent incident. I would not want to delve into the intricacies of the incident, but I think it's a fair quest, all right, to secure our nation's courts and have proper security. I know my television guy is going to pull that story up and share it with those of you who are online and on television. Those of you on radio, unfortunately, you won't be seeing it. Yeah, that's one of the stories that we are going to look at this morning. All right, and yeah, we also hear that Evan Smith, that's the gentleman that was attacked in Fort Judy a couple of years ago. 2 years ago, his health is deteriorating rapidly since that incident. So yeah, we want to look at that story with the president of the Grenada Bar Association calling for a stable home for the court system and proper security. That's what we're looking at. That's the first story we're looking at this morning. And remember, you can call in the number 435-2041. What's your take on this? Don't you think that our court system should be housed in a secured facility? where, intruders and things of the ills do not get into, because what's happening in the court system should be very confidential and strictly secured. That's my take on it. What's yours? 435-2041. That's the number you call. All right. And like I said, the buzz we're looking at is the president of the Grenada Bar Association seeking to have a proper home, a stable home for our court system, and also proper security. That's what we're looking at this time. We are also going to look at that other story with the opposition senators Nylon Franklin and Katisha Douglas, where they questioned the supplementary budget, supplementary appropriations bill, which gives financing for a number of key government projects. That was housed. We have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Jackie. I think we need to pay attention to all of the issues in Grenada, because some people who are in power, they secure themselves. For instance, the Parliament building, to have a meeting once every week or so.
Okay.
But the people's business is undone.
And by saying the people's business, I presume you're talking about the court system, right?
Exactly. So we don't have no justice, because it takes too long, and people manipulate, people get away with a lot of stuff because of the problems that we're having. So we need a proper hall of justice.
Okay.
And we need proper security so that the people's business could be carried out. Justice will and shall prevail in that system. Where it is now, we're in trouble. And the poorer class of people that feels it most. Because they find, it doesn't make sense because it takes so long. But if you have a proper justice system that is swift, then we'll have good justice. Government, doesn't matter who, needs to provide that for the people. And we, the people, should demand that this thing happen as soon as possible.
So in essence, you think that should be given a high level of priority and urgency, right?
More than high. It's like an emergency, it's like a hurricane coming and you prepare. Preparing.
Okay. All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, he thinks that there should be a high level of urgency as it relates to the securing of the nation's courts, securing and housing. Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Mr. Innocent, good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm very well, thank you. And how are you?
I am blessed and highly favored.
Well, I'm happy about that. Everybody calling and they want everything done now, right now. But they didn't know what they want before. We didn't have a government before. Everybody calling at every radio station. They want a bridge. They want the court system. They want a dog. They want a cat. They couldn't ask Kit Mitchell for it before.
Okay, let's...
Man, just keep all yourself quiet, man.
Okay, all right. Thank you, caller. All right. I do not think that this is necessarily a political thing, because I do remember that, even in the previous administration, calls were made, and if I'm not mistaken, I think there was some funding that was, that was for the parliament. I don't know about the court. Let me not say what I don't know. It's 19 minutes after 7. Good morning, caller.
Hello, Pleasant. Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Not too bad.
Okay.
I find the Prime Minister is not God, and everybody only beating up on him. Any little problem is the Prime Minister. Not only the Prime Minister, he had the ministers and the senator. They could call upon them too. Not only on the Prime Minister. Oh God, he's not God, man. Give him a chance. They strive and see what he could do for the country, and everybody join with him and try our best to work together.
Okay, so let me
build a good Grenada.
Right, let me ask you a question. Having said that, right? Do you think, or do you agree with the fact that the court system in Grenada should be properly housed and secured?
Of course, the court especially when you go to in the courthouse, too much ups and downs, too much putting off, where they could hustle up on it. So they need to step up, and they have many things to do in the court system. It is very poor and weak in Grenada.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, then.
Good. Thank you. It is often said justice delayed is justice denied. And can we really attribute delayed cases like the adjournments and so forth to the housing of the... maybe the facility plays an integral role in the smooth transition of cases. I don't know. I want to hear from you. 20 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock, let's go back to the Tingling. Good morning. Hi, good morning.
Morning, are you hearing me?
Yes, I am. But could you...
Yeah, sorry for that thing.
Okay, good. All right, good.
My take on this is that I like to anchor things in context. And while we were being told that the country is prospering and all that thing, we were in our court system to rate. So we've been talking about GDP and this and that, and yet the social and cultural fabric of the country are being deteriorating. So it's good that the people became conscious and rescue the country, and let us work to ensure that this situation never comes back. The law, the judiciary is a part of the arm of the state, but they were never respected. And then we individually have our own idiosyncrasies about the court system, the lawyers, and so on, until we end up in difficulty.
So, caller, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. Do you agree or disagree with the call by the president of the Bar Association for the proper and secure housing of the court system?
Yes, I agree. We need to have the place. In fact, as I think your good friend Jerry Edwin had said on, or he or Mr. Clouden on the program Beyond the Headline, money was provided for Hall of Justice, but that was done, they did otherwise, provided a place for themselves, the politicians. So, we need to really, in fact, probably all of that should come with constitutional reform, and so where people understand the rule of law, the rule of the Constitution, notwithstanding the fact that it's still buried within the rule of the king. Okay. So we need to really I think that is part of all the transformation of the country. We need to really shake up how things are done. Respect the court system, respect the judiciary. We have seen how the past administration tried to, manipulate to trying to appoint Hugh Wildman.
All right, caller. We've gotten your point. All right, thank you very much. We don't want to go back to all the Hugh Wildman, but thanks for your contribution nonetheless. 22 minutes after 7 o'clock, we're going to take a final call on this topic. Good morning. Hello?
Good morning.
Hi, can you turn down the volume on your radio or TV, please?
Sorry.
Good, thank you.
Yes, Uncle B?
Yes, very good.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Thank you.
We don't want to go back on certain things and certain things, but I could remember hearing our former PM saying that our Prime Minister, I could remember him saying that if anything happens or if anything should come up arbitrary, he is going to make Grenada ungovernable. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. It doesn't really, tie in with what we were talking, but the people's voices should be heard. Good. All right. This is as far as we go with this on this topic. Now, something that I've observed. I don't know if you've observed it, and maybe I'll tweak what we have on the program a bit. We've seen quite a number of young senators. All right, quite a number of young senators. Most of them are entering the political. They're stepping into politics, and they made quite a number of contributions. Now, do you think? That's how I'm going to tweak it. Do you think it's good or not having so many young persons actively involved in the politics of Grenada? Give me a call, 435-2041. It's 24 minutes after 7 o'clock. Do you think or otherwise having so many young politicians around? Our Prime Minister is relatively young. When I look at the Senate presentation on Tuesday, quite a number of youngsters. Is this a good thing or not? Back to the telephone line. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear heart. How you do?
I am good. How are you?
I'm more than good. I'm fine.
All right. Tell me, do you think it's a good thing that we have so many young politicians?
Well, I'm going to go right down the road, I go quite down the road. You know, when Uncle Gary was Prime Minister of Grenada. So here one day, Uncle Gary go telling us that he go bring a handsome young fella to rule Grenada after he. So Papa, we asking, wondering, Uncle Gary must be mad, and he bring a young youth, you know.
Okay.
Keith Mitchell.
All right.
He bring him at the age of 24. But when he come in with him, he say, well, who on his side stay on his side? And who on Keith's side? I say, bye-bye, uncle. Hey, what uncle go tell me no? Yes, Teresa, you get a ripe, you get a nice, beautiful lime, and you forget it. I say, already too, the young one, they have to take learning from the elder one.
So you think it's a good thing that we have a lot of young politicians?
Well, in a way, but those young politicians, they have to learn.
Okay.
You have to learn. They have to learn.
All right.
They have to learn from the elder ones.
Okay. All right. Thank you, caller.
They won't make it. They go make it, but they have to learn.
Right. They have to learn from the more advanced politicians.
Yes, from the senior citizen.
All right.
One.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good. Bye-bye. Good. That's the number to call. It's 27 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
I am fine. How are you?
I'm blessed.
And highly favored?
Yeah, my brother.
All right, good. Tell me, what do you think? Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing, you know, because remember, in the past we use notebook, exercise, pencil, but now is tablet and computer. Like that.
Everybody's sick. Everybody wants a tablet.
Yeah, and you know the people that used to use the notebook and exercise pen and pencil, they can handle the computer good now. So it's a good thing we change out transformation.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, you're gone. Okay, all right. Good. Bye. I was going to pop a question on her, but she left. Good morning. Yeah, back to the telephone lines. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Well, not too bad. I'm listening to you.
All right, thanks for listening.
Yeah, when you're talking about the young politicians, I want to ask you something. Would you change something in your vehicle and put back the same thing you changed?
Well, if you put back the same thing, then you didn't make a change, right? All right, if you put back the same thing that you took out.
Well, I'm saying it. If you take out something old and you put back something old again, what sense it makes? So when you talk about the young people getting into politics, I can see where you're coming from, because you have to have people there when the older one's gone.
That is correct. That is correct. But I just threw out that as an argument to hear your take, because it's, I mean, in order for there to be continuity, there must be an integration of youthfulness, yeah?
Well, okay, what you say.
Good. All right. Okay, thank you, caller. Good. Good. 29 minutes after 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock workers, are you looking at the watch? Are you looking at the clock? 435-2041, that's the number to call. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning. Hi, good morning. Okay. I think at this time, in this dispensation, folks, you should know that once you are calling on a live program on the radio or television, it's mandatory that you turn the volume of your radio or television down. I mean, we've been around this thing long enough. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Okay. When we're talking about the Prime Minister is a relatively young person, King Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign. Have a blessed day.
All right, good, thanks. Now I'm starting to wonder if you folks understand what I'm pushing, right? We have quite an influx of young politicians. I am not saying it's good nor bad. I want you to tell me. So don't think that I am saying it's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm neutral on it. I want to hear the consensus, the general consensus of the populace. That's what I'm trying to do. Good morning. Okay. I want to live long enough with my hearing intact so that I can hear my grandchildren calling me Papa. You know, so I want you, please, folks, turn down the volume. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
How are you this morning?
Good morning. You are not so innocent as people think, you know.
That's fine.
They give you the wrong name.
That's fine.
Because you're testing people.
Well, of course.
As you say. So you're looking for special answers then?
No, I want to hear your opinion. This is an opinionated question.
Anyhow, the world or the youth want to be involved deeply in the ruling of the world. So I feel you have to give them a chance. But at the same time, they say what? Old men for war. Youth for war and old men for counsel. So these youths and them should be guided by those who have experience. So I can't tell you, we should have a mixture. But now, maybe in this era now, we have more youths because they're deciding to go rapidly to take over. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, caller. He sounds threatened. All right, folks, it's 28 minutes on to 8 o'clock. We're going to take a commercial break and we'll be back on the flip side. We're going to change the buzz on the flip back, okay? Those of you who are looking at us on TV and the social media platforms, this is where we take a commercial break, and we will be back with the discussion right after these messages.
National Insurance Scheme continues to make it easy to access our services using the MyNIS online platform. Now we're introducing a new feature that allows you to submit your benefit claims from the convenience of your smart devices. No paper, no hassle. All you have to do is log in to my.nisgrenada.org. Select claims, fill out the relevant information, and click submit. We'll take it from there. It's that simple and that easy. Submit a claim from the comfort of your home as you rest and recuperate. Enjoy the convenience of faster claim processing and monitor the status of your claim every step of the way. We are excited to introduce this new feature to better serve you. NIS is changing the game and the way you make your claim. Access anywhere and anytime with My NIS Online.
MegaFest 2022 Gospel Explosion is finally here. Join the youth of the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists under the green and white tent at Progress Park in St. Andrews from Sunday, October 9th to the 29th at 7 p.m. and continuing nightly for an electrifying evangelistic experience like no other. Come hear the ever-exhilarating Pastor Oliver Scott shatter the kingdom of darkness with thundering messages from the Word of God. If you ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need Him now. Come find hope in the midst of your pain. See you there.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
MegaFest 2022 Gospel Explosion is finally here. Join the youth of the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists under the green and white tent at Progress Park in St. Andrews from Sunday, October 9th to the 29th at 7 p.m. and continuing nightly for an electrifying evangelistic experience like no other. Come hear the ever-exhilarating Pastor Oliver Scott shatter the kingdom of darkness with thundering messages from the Word of God. If you ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need Him now. Come find hope in the midst of your pain. See you there.
Good Good morning and welcome back to this segment of Good Morning Grenada, and we're dealing with the buzz. There's some of the top stories that made the buzz last night, and as you know, yesterday, well, at least coming in from Tuesday night, we've been having lots of rain, and it affected some, quite a number of people. As a matter of fact, I think the whole nation was affected by the rain. But as I always tell people in Grenada, in this part of the vineyard, we don't have snow. What we have is sun and rain, so we have to be prepared for them. All right, but nonetheless, some people were more affected than others based on where they were located. So there was a story that made the buzz last night. Students from the St. Andrew Anglican Primary School, they had to be sent home at midday because they were affected by flooding with the heavy rains that happened yesterday. And I'd like to hear your take. What do you think, especially folks from the St. Andrew area? I happen to know the area well. As a matter of fact, while I just want to say good morning to the folks inside of Telescope in St. Andrew. DJ Splendid Song and your family, good morning. As a matter of fact, let me not start calling names because I'll end up in problems. Susan and Twine and family, good morning to you. All right, we've got a caller. Good morning.
Hey, morning, Innocent. How you doing?
I am good. I'm sounding weak in comparison to your voice. What did you have for breakfast, man?
2 bananas and some juice.
Wow. Well, I must eat a lot of that, man.
All right, that real here. Well, I know you moved on, but to the question you asked previously, with the youth in Parliament and so, and in Senate, I think the answer really lies in the substance of the contributions. So when it comes to whether we should have young people or not, the contributions that are being made, are they wholesome? Are they substantial? I think that is the better way to answer the questions, because I've listened to young people in their teens speak, and what they say, you get a lot from it.
Yeah.
And then I've listened to those with certificated, and what they say and nothing is the same. So when we listen to the contributions yesterday, I don't think it's about youth really. It is about the quality of it, the preparation, and just making sure that the people are rightly represented, and we move on from there.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Personally, were you satisfied with what you heard from the youthfulness of the senators?
Based on the little I heard, I didn't get to take in the entire thing. Yes, I was. Yes, I was a bit impressed. I think I look forward to other debates and contributions and so. But I have to say, to me, the quality of the discourse, it's on the up and up. As to whether it continues, time we will have to wait and see.
So from what you're saying, I deduce that you think that it augurs well for futuristic politics in Grenada.
I believe so. No, not to downplay the importance of seniority and experience and so in the whole thing. But
for mentorship purposes, right?
Youthfulness brings a level of daring and risk and boldness and new ideas and thoughts and so. And when you have people, having to prove themselves, they tend to be a little bit more prepared in most cases.
Right.
They put a little bit more effort into it, and I think that is what we're seeing. Some may not agree with it because they're not being objective, I believe.
Yeah.
But without putting on party lens, it bodes well for us. The mix is needed, experience is needed, but youthfulness will always have its place when it comes to movement of plans and projects and all these things.
Okay, thank you, caller. Have a good one. Good. I like that. Yeah, and I agree. I tend to agree with that. I think there must be a proper blend, all right? Because what happens when the senior politicians go home, when they do intend to retire, what happens? Good morning.
Good morning.
We're talking about the St. Andrews Anglican School?
Yes.
Talk to me. Where are you calling from?
Laborie.
Okay.
Now, concerning the areas, at least education had been sent out many a time to people of how to go about these areas in time of disasters. But in spite of whatever you do, when God is at work, no one could stop whatever happens after God's work. He is mighty. So we can't be blamed concerning whatever happened after God's work, flooding and all these things. when God is at work, these things happen, and we can't blame it on anyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, caller. All right. I don't think we weren't really blaming because, I mean, we know, for those of us who know the area well, we know that Grenville, the town of Grenville, floods, you know. A little drizzle, and if the tide is high, the town floods. So what we're looking at, what do you think can be done to mitigate that problem? Because it's been there for a while, and it will continue unless something is done. All right, 435-2041, that's the number to call. What do you think can be done or should be done? Yeah, let's go back to the telephone lines. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I am blessed.
I'm not changing the topic, but I'm just with the first question you say about young senators. I'm so pleased to see so much young senators in the Senate, but sometimes they have to examine what they're saying, because I was listening on news yesterday, the health minister, thing he said about the hospital, I'm so disappointing. I'm not saying the hospital is perfect, but they're trying their best. They're trying their best in the hospital, the doctors, because my mother was in the hospital and they treat her so good.
Right.
So that statement he was saying, forbid something happens, somebody fall along there, they probably have to fly them out.
And you're certain that he said that? You heard him make that comment?
Yes, I heard it on the news last night.
You did not hear it with your own mouth, right?
Yeah, no, with my ears. I heard it in my ears.
Okay, all right.
Yes, I heard he said the statements, Madam President, if something so big to happen, you know.
All right. Okay.
Yes. So sometimes you have to examine what you say.
Right. So the youth, in your opinion, the youthfulness is good, but what they're saying has to be sound.
Yeah, because I mean, I was very disappointed in that statement about the hospital.
Okay.
He's not at 100% perfect, but I will give them a good rating. They're trying the best in the general hospital.
Okay.
They do.
All right. Okay. Thank you, caller. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, we have to guard our speech. Yeah, I did not hear the comment myself, so I wouldn't want to elaborate on it. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, my dear darling. I hope come back. I did hear it.
Okay.
I did hear what he said. Let me tell you, at 2021, I was in a general hospital. I go in because I took the last injection and my cholesterol was high. You could say my cholesterol was 500? Eh?
Okay.
You believe that? 500 my cholesterol. So the doctors, they send me in. And the nurses and them, oh my God. Every minute the nurses and them on me.
All right, so in order to as we say, to cut a long story short, were you satisfied with the way you were treated at the hospital?
That's a perfect too.
Okay, and when was that?
Perfect, and at the age I treated well good.
Okay.
Right now I'm 75 years going.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you, caller.
Good. Right, love.
Okay, bye-bye. 12 minutes on to 8 o'clock. Good morning, Grenada. Want to say good morning to Mr. Blaze and Mr. Young and the folks at the Marketing and National Importing Board. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Tell me.
I'm calling concerning the flooding in Grenville.
Yes, where are you calling from?
Grenada.
So you know...
All I need to do is to put some electrical pump and with some pipe run to the sea. As fast as the thing flowing, you pumping the water back out in the sea.
Okay, you think that is the solution to the problem?
Yeah, I feel like it's the best.
Okay, do you have an engineering background?
No, but I have an idea. I feel I should be the best.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much. Maybe you should give the Ministry of Infrastructure a call.
Okay.
All right, good. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, all right. Let's take another caller on that issue. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm calling with regards to the previous caller, or the last two callers, with regards to the statement made by the minister. I think it must be taken into context. Right. He was making a point in terms of the condition in which the hospital is at the moment. Okay. And so basically what he was saying is that they need specialists in different areas to come in to assist in the event something happens. So I think we need to take what he said into context and not just look at the words, fly out of Grenada.
So in essence, he wasn't commenting on the infrastructural and the administrative aspect of the hospital. He's more talking about staffing and so forth.
Well, all of that. I think it was a combination. Okay. But I think she was zeroing on the point he was making that, one would have to fly out of Grenada. And it's impossible. Everybody would not be able to do that.
Well, I can't fly out.
I think we need to look at the broader picture and take what he said into context.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. Have a good day.
Welcome.
Bye-bye. Good. All right. Now, making the buzz again will remain in the parish of St. Andrew, the big parish. Hey, Pele Dabo, good morning to you. How are you doing, bro? You and the entire family, good morning to you. All right. Now, a St. Andrew businessman says multiple break-ins in his establishment less than 2 weeks apart are causing him significant distress. Well, it will cause me distress as well. Now, he's asking that a proper facility be established for substance abuse persons so that they will not continue to become a nuisance to society and to business. All right, do you think that you agree with that? Yeah? And does it necessarily mean that someone or people breaking into your premises, do they necessarily have to be addictive to some substance or something? Good morning.
Good morning, Innocent. Me again, I come to you. Now, so what we're saying, we should build houses to house these people that are abusing these different substances. Let me tell you something. I thought we would say to try to educate them. And I had to use the word educate to some of our people in Grenada. Because they have a tendency to believe that when you talk about education, you're talking about doing mathematics good, doing English good, and so on and so on. You could educate people in all different fields. So once you educate people as to the good or the bad of marijuana or whatever it is, then when they learn that, they will be able to put it into reality. So you will have less people using these substances to cause them to be ill.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, right?
I hope I can answer it.
Yes, I think you should. You should try. How do we get these people and them to that rehabilitative state? Do we go and look for them on the streets where they are, or should we have a facility where we rung them up and bring them in there and give them whatsoever the education that you're talking about? How do we do it? How do we administer that?
I don't think you could rung them up. Rung them up look as if you're using some kind of severe force. You try to locate them.
Okay.
You try to locate them. Once they are reaping havoc among the society or the people in the thing. Maybe if a man commit an offense you won't put him, or you shouldn't put him in this kind of a confinement. But people should be taken to a special place or special places where they have trained people knowing how to deal with this type of people. Okay. So we need trained people, maybe in our field in Grenada.
Right, so in essence, I personally think that the direction you're going is that we should have some social workers in the various communities identifying these sorts of people and making the requisite recommendations to the relevant authorities.
Yeah.
All right.
Besides that, should I extend, in fact, people talking about flooding. You built your house, and when you built your house, you pave all your yard. So not only you, others like you in Grenville and elsewhere. So what you think about surface runout?
Okay.
Ask people about surface runout. That's why we have flooding all over the island.
Okay. All right.
And because the land, this water, the excess water, cannot as you would use a big word, percolate into the soil.
Right. Okay.
So that's why we have so much flooding.
Okay. Thank you, caller. Have a good one. Folks, it's 6 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock workers, you should be on the JOB already. We go back to the telephone line. Good morning.
Hi, me again.
Okay.
Listen, my heart goes out to that businessman in Grenville. And you know, he wasn't hostile. He's still pleading that they should get some place to put these people on them. And these people on them need help. You imagine how much time for which you want to break up in people's place?
Yeah, that's a problem.
They should have a place to put them, to counsel them and help them. And also those who selling the drugs must get a counseling too.
Those who selling the drugs?
Yes, they must get counseling too.
But the question I ask is that, does it mean that everyone who breaks open into someone else's property is on substance abuse?
No.
Right. So
not all.
How do we identify them? You see the trick there?
Because, listen, you know you have 3 types of mental case.
Well, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not versed.
I heard specialists say you have one that need clinic. You have one that's silent, and those that violence.
Okay.
But the silent one is very hard to detect because they're in society, they're in home and everything. You can detect them easy, and this is the dangerous one.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you, caller. Good. That's the question. How do we identify them? I mean, it's, looking at it trivially, we think it's okay, but it is indeed a serious problem because we have a number of people with mental issues that are walking around, and if you're not very trained in that field, you might not be able to identify them. Good morning, caller.
Good morning again, my brother. Sorry to come back. What I wanted to bring back, you see the Carlton home?
Okay.
The Carlton home is a very, 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 very good place.
Okay.
You take them up, you put them in the Carlton home, and then you train them. You get Dr. I forget his name now.
Okay.
The doctor that does be Dr. God, I come with the name, but I forget it.
All right, but in essence, what you're saying that there should be specialists to work along with them.
That's right.
Okay.
Specialists to work on them.
Okay.
And you see this marijuana they bring in there, with these young children that are in there, they should have never, ever, ever bring in marijuana come in Grenada.
Okay.
Because you know why? These young children that coming up there, I ain't telling you what they say. I know about it.
Okay.
It done good. Because these young children know with marijuana they want, and those people on the street and things, take them up and please, asking the Prime Minister, bring back Carlton home, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, caller. Okay. All right, folks, this is where we wrap it up. We had a caller pending. Let's take the final call. And this is going to be our final call on the program this morning. Seem to have dropped off. But nonetheless, let me tell you what my take is. I'm going to do the summary of this now. All right, what we looked at this morning, right. Okay, the youthfulness of our Senate, and this now is my opinion, okay? I think it's a good thing, all right? I think it's wise to have the youth blending in with the seniors, all right? Because there will come a time when the seniors have to retire, okay? They have to. So what is important, in my opinion, though, is that the young politicians, they need to, get themselves prepared, all right? Do as much research as possible and ensure what you are going to say, what you are going to deliberate on is meaningful. It's got sense in it, all right? It can impact on the average man, all right? That's my take on this. So I think it's a good thing. I think it's a step in the right direction. In previous time, we found that, young people were not interested, but I'm happy now that I'm seeing so many young persons involved in politics. All right? So that was one. We also looked at the students being sent home. Okay, well, this is a story that is, this issue has been ongoing for years. All right, for years, and I think now I don't want to sound okay, well, this government is here, so now the pressure is on. But I think it's something that should have been dealt with a long time ago. All right, a gentleman suggested that you have surface pumps to pump the water back. I do not know what remedial action that can be taken, but it is a problem. All right, some folks would say if a bottle of water falls from a bus and it runs out, it floods Grenville. So something needs to be done. Engineers need to be called in to deal with it. As it relates to the distressed businessman, Papi, I feel for you. I know you and I know what happens there. I think the direction that should go is there should be more, as the caller intimated a while ago, more facilities like the Carlton Home and so forth, and have the relevant social workers working in the communities to be identifying these persons who need help. Take into consideration that it's a situation where they need help, okay? They need help, all right? So you get them the requisite help that they need. You have them in a facility where they are dealt with, and when you are, scientifically satisfied that they can be reintegrated, then you try that. And finally, what we looked at also is the housing of the court. Well, that's a given, all right? It's imperative that our court system is housed and secured properly. All those of you who participated, thank you so very much, and should the good Lord spare our lives, we'll have another program tomorrow morning. But this is where we wrap it up as we make way for a bulletin of news from the British Broadcasting Corporation, the BBC. Thank you, folks. Bye-bye.